And then coming out of that, they're going to go into a championship game because the Logansport, Culver Academy, and Lebanon, out of those two teams, it's unfortunate, like we've talked like before, because you see a Culver Military at 8-1 playing a Lebanon team that's 7-2, and coming out of that game, they're going to have an opportunity to play a team that's still going to be pretty good, but they're not necessarily having to beat themselves across the head for 3 straight weeks to get to that, sectional final. And they do have a path to get to that sectional final in sectional 20. So I think the sky's the limit when it comes to the sectional 20 and from their standpoint of, being in that sectional championship game.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we said, Frankfort up first for Huntington North, winless on the year. You look at their stats, just averaging 10 points a game, giving up 50 on defense. Do you think that bodes well for that high-flying Huntington North offense? So it's, the hot dogs from Frankfort.
That's right.
That's their mascot. It's been a as you can see, those numbers there on the screen for those watching on the video podcast. It's not been the best of year, but they're in their conference, in the Sagamore Conference, and they're again,
it's a tough conference too.
Teams, yes, you see Crawfordsville, Lebanon, Western Boone, Danville leading the way at 8-1 team. So some really stiff competition, and that will be interesting to see how that pans out, because they're, again, just like Huntington North and some of the other SAC schools, that and even a Homestead that plays those big boys out of Indy, the opportunity to branch out and play some opponents, it should be interesting to see. And that's the way the ping pong balls flew. And so that's an interesting sectional, because it's literally a hodgepodge of teams from all across that central part of the state, if you will. Muncie Central, Logansport, and those can be some long trips too, just at the sectional level.
What's interesting in that, dude, I think I'm correct in stating this, that I think Huntington North used to be a part of that conference at one point in time long ago that involved Muncie Central, Logansport, and Marion. I think those schools were all a part of one conference prior to the realignments that took place. But Huntington North is, no stranger to those bus trips that they had.
They were. Huntington North was part of the before the NE8 was formed in 2015. They were part of the North Central Conference, and from 04 to 14, and then from the bulk of it from 1974 to 2003, they were part of what was called the Olympic Conference.
Yeah, Olympic Conference.
And I think that was with some of the conference realignments, and I know some of the consolidation over the years in the Muncie area. They're a little bit different, and it always feels like it's always like that Huntington North or Jay County that is always kind of like the odd man out in the sectionals, in the sense that they don't, like, you have that sectional where it's like East Noble and Leo, New Haven, DeKalb, and then it's like Huntington North is in this. It's just this odd sectional of teams, but I think that's what makes it fun too. And I know the Huntington North folks are happy because they get a home game, and then I think Marion would host next week, which Marion's not too terribly far from Huntington. So I think the first 2 weeks from a travel standpoint is pretty good, because Logansport and Lebanon down by Indy. I mean, it gets crazy. Culver up by South Bend. That's a long haul as well. So
and Culver can be
crazy about it. I mean, I bet the Culver's trip to Lebanon, I mean, I'd have to look it up real quick, but I mean, Culver's up by South Bend, and then Lebanon is down. I think it's near
northwest.
Kind of. I mean, so that's probably good. I don't know what, an hour and a half bus ride down there. So
at least.
So anyway, so that'll be a fun section to watch. It doesn't get a whole lot of attention in our area just by virtue of the teams, but Huntington North, I think, with the season they've played and the success they've had with the players that they do, is definitely drawn a little bit more attention